legends start. In-depth words cutting deep as cleats. Every play analyzed heartbeat by beat. Interviews, raw stories unfold. Behind the curtain, secrets told. The Golden Room Podcast, sweeping the game from the 50-yard line to the Hall of Fame. Breaking it down, tearing it apart. The Golden Room Podcast, where legends start.
Welcome into the Golden Broom Podcast. I'm your host, Cody Slavinsky, joined as always by, I want to say Vandy Chris, but now he's GBP_Chris. It's like he's trying to take my username there. I'm GBP_Tiger King, but I like it. Either way, I'm joined by Vandy Chris tonight. As you know, the newest playoff rankings have been released. We have some coaching hires. We have early signing day going on. A lot of big stuff. But before we get into all of that, I am going to give the floor to Chris for him to give his message to the committee on how he feels, because he's feeling it. Hold on.
He muted himself. Left me on an island alone. I have but one short and simple message for the College Football Playoff Committee. Fuck you. That's all.
Oh, that's fantastic, Chris.
I'll save my bullet points for when we can have an actual discussion.
I mean, I think that was beautiful, though. I mean, I think that's how it needs to be. I mean, let's be real. It is truly a shame what the committee did. I mean, all right. So one thing you've made clear is that if Texas is ranked ahead of Vandy, you understand that. You're not going to argue that. You straight up said that. But it's not Texas that's the problem.
It's not.
Because let's be real. Texas had a good win. Mm-hmm. They looked impressive in their win. They closed out the second half well against A&M. Boom. It happens. That being said, Miami. Weaker strength of schedule. And may I add, I'm the one that was defending Miami previously. Mm-hmm. But let's be real. A weaker strength of schedule. Yes, they have the signature win over Notre Dame. Congratulations. Beginning of the season, it happened. The only negative thing that can be said about Vanderbilt is that between Miami, Texas, and them is they're the only team that does not have a victory over a team that is currently in the top 12 rankings right now. That is the only.
Stop.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right, though. Go ahead, because I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
2 weeks ago, the College Football Playoff Committee chairman, Hunter Yurachek, who was a sitting athletic director at Arkansas involved in a massive coaching search to replace the guy that they fired, stated on national TV in no uncertain terms, Oregon gets credit for a ranked win at Penn State. It's not Oregon's fault what happened to Penn State afterwards.
Shout out Crumble Cookie.
So, based on that statement alone, South Carolina was ranked 11. LSU was ranked 15. Missouri was ranked 17. Tennessee was ranked 17. That's 4 teams that we beat when they were ranked.
Well, hold on a second.
Or if Oregon gets credit for those, we get credit for them.
There's a problem with what you said, though. You didn't beat Tennessee. You put belt to ass on Tennessee. Let's get it right.
Yeah, and the score does not reflect how bad it was.
No, not at all. One thing I want to say, too, shout out to Diego Pavia for what he's done in the month of November. What a special month. Mm-hmm. I mean, thank you, Terry. I'll follow you back, buddy. I didn't know you were on X.
We finally convinced him this week.
It's about time.
Yeah.
I got to say, that kid, a lot of people don't like him. He's a pretty cocky kid.
He's a lightning rod.
He is. But let's be real. He backs it up on the field with what he does. He's fantastic. He is a great athlete. And from last year to this year, he went from being a really good athlete to being a really good quarterback.
Yes.
And there's a reason now that he has either been tied for first on who's going to win the Heisman or just right there in the mix on all the betting odds are all over the place on this. But either way, he's strongly in the mix right now. This weekend will really determine what happens. If Indiana and Ohio State's defenses step it up, I mean,
They don't have to cranial inversion themselves on this. There's
yeah.
no other player in America that does for his team what Diego Pavia does for Vanderbilt. None.
Yeah, I mean, okay,
That makes you the best player, period.
Because, I mean, let's be real. How many times is Julian saying, and look, and let me say this before I even go into this, I am not dissing a single player that I'm talking about right here because I think all the players that are in contention for the Heisman are great athletes. How many times is Julian saying had to put the team on his back and win the game for the team? 0.
Right.
He has one of the best wide receiver rooms in America. How many times has Fernando Mendoza had to put his team on his back to win a game? Once. And don't get me wrong, that was a great comeback. It was against a bad team, but it was a good comeback and it was a good victory for them. But Fernando Mendoza also has a very good wide receiver room. Mm-hmm. Diego Pavia, on the other hand, he has talent to throw to. Don't get me wrong. He has arguably one of the best tight ends in America. He has some good receivers to throw to. But
so let's
they're not developed the same way. Sure.
Let's talk about it. Trey Richardson, who, if you watch the Kentucky game, he's the one that went off as a wide receiver. He's the one that caught the dot, the 74-yard dot for a touchdown. He's a D3 transfer.
There you go.
Richie Hoskins, who also scored a touchdown, he's the one that caught the pass over the middle between two other guys as he was getting hit. He was a D2 transfer walk-on at Vandy.
There you go.
That's who he's throwing the ball to. So let's not get this messed up.
You have another thing to say. Eli Stowers was a quarterback.
Former quarterback.
He's a converted tight end.
Yes, he's played tight end for 2 years.
And let's be real, the Alabama game that Eli Stowers played in was the worst game he played all year.
Yes. And
had Stowers been able to step it up, there's a good chance that Vanderbilt wins that game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Vanderbilt gave that. Both losses, Vanderbilt gave it away. It wasn't that they were outplayed, it's that they handed the game away. That Texas game, the beginning of that game, let's be real, that was a video game situation.
Yeah.
That was if they played that game again, that's not what it would look like. There's no chance. We saw what the fourth quarter looked like in that game. Once Vanderbilt got into it, they were
that's
cooking.
What people are forgetting about is the game is 4 quarters long. Yes, the first 3 quarters were not great, but the game is 4 quarters. If there had been another 5 minutes left in that game, Vanderbilt wins that game.
100%. 100%. There's no question about it. I really think that what Pavia has done for his team this year, because he's put that team on his back every game they played.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. They had a few cupcakes at the beginning of the year. I will say that for their schedule, that's the one thing that hurt them is the teams they scheduled out of conference did not live up to what they could have. They had bad years, unfortunately, and that does not help them.
We did what everybody else did. We scored.
Sure.
We played a Power 4. We played an FCS, and we played a G5. Everybody does it.
Yeah.
Don't knock us for it.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, Vanderbilt didn't have a top 25 out of conference win there because that would have helped them, I think. But, I mean, at the end of and also, why did Missouri go to unranked after winning the other day in the CFP? They were ranked.
The same reason we dropped from 13 to 14 in the AP poll on Sunday after a 21-point win on the road against a rival in their house that was favored to beat us.
Exactly. So, and my thing is, too, is why did Tennessee go to unranked from 17? I think they should have stayed in the top 25. I mean, do I think Tennessee's a great team? No, but I mean, they're not a bad team by any stretch. I mean,
so much I don't understand.
yeah, I mean, it's stupid. It really is. I think Vanderbilt got hosed. It's truly a shame that this team, gets 10 wins this year and they get punished.
Mm-hmm. So my whole thing is, okay, I get Texas. I get it. I get BYU. I get it. I do.
Yep.
But Miami, what in the hell are we seeing here?
I'm telling you, it is just because of the Notre Dame win. That's all it is.
I discovered something in my research on this issue. If you look at the Big Ten, compare the way their teams finished in the Big Ten Conference, and line it up with the college football poll.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State, Indiana tied for first. They're first and second in the poll. Oregon's third in the Big Ten. They're listed 6th, 7th, whatever it is. You look at the SEC. They're listed in order other than Alabama.
Yeah.
Alabama's playing for the championship, but they didn't finish technically second in the league because, tiebreakers and stuff.
Yeah.
But Georgia, A&M, Oklahoma, Alabama, it's in order. They're behind Oklahoma where they should be because Oklahoma beat them.
Yeah.
In the Big 12, Texas Tech listed first. They won their conference. BYU was listed second. Why is the only conference that's not listed in the same order the ACC?
Yeah.
The third place team in the ACC is the first one listed in the college football poll.
Yeah.
Why aren't they listed? Why isn't Miami behind at least Virginia? I can make an argument for them to be ahead of Duke.
Yeah.
But if we're really being honest, they were the third team because they also lost to SMU, who tied for second place.
Yeah.
So why is the third place team in the ACC the first ACC team listed?
And another thing too is the fact that, okay, so Miami loses to SMU. Close game, but they lose to them. SMU loses to Cal. That's bad. And yet Miami's not punished for that?
Right.
I mean, had Arkansas beaten Missouri, I feel like Vanderbilt would have been punished for that.
100% they would have.
So
I think Clark Lee is absolutely 100% when he said it's a brand recognition problem. They're not looking at data. They're looking at names on a jersey.
yeah.
100% that's what's going on.
Absolutely.
And thank you, loyal BBM fan show, for chiming in and commenting on this. I appreciate you, my friend over there, Mr. Michael Spencer.
Absolutely. I mean, let's be real. College football playoff plus Pavia, huge ratings. I'm going to be honest with you. I agree with that. I think that would be some insane ratings. So everybody, let's be real. Vanderbilt fans would watch because they want to see them win. Everybody else would watch because they want to see Pavia go down.
So let me take another angle for you. You have a graphic that needs to be shown.
You talking about the requirements?
There's a rule in place in the college football playoff. Let's read this. The committee will select the teams using a process that distinguishes among otherwise comparable teams by considering strength of schedule, head-to-head competitions, comparative outcomes of common opponents. Let me stop right there for just a second. Miami played Virginia Tech at Virginia Tech when they did not have a head coach. They beat them 34-17. And that was when they threw a 50-yard bomb into the end zone with 2 minutes left in the game. Before that, it was a 10-point game with less than 3 minutes to play, and Virginia Tech had the ball and was driving.
Yep.
Vanderbilt played Virginia Tech at Virginia Tech. When they had a head coach, we kneeled the ball down at the 5-yard line to keep from scoring again and beat them by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, y'all kept it classy. Y'all couldn't be stopped.
So comparative outcomes versus common opponents, we beat Virginia Tech worse than Miami. But that's not what I want to focus on here. Other relevant factors such as unavailability of key players and coaches that may have affected a team's performance during the season or likely will affect its postseason performance. Full stop. The College Football Playoff Committee set a precedent 2 years ago when they punished an undefeated Florida State team for missing one player off of their team, quarterback Jordan Travis. They set the precedent. Ole Miss is still being counted as in the college football playoffs, and they just lost the entire offensive staff of their football team. You don't think that's going to make a difference? Ole Miss, by precedent that's previously set, should be out of the college football playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't know how they can justify that.
It's true. Now, you know, the one team that people are not talking about is Notre Dame. What has Notre Dame done to be in the top 10? Outside of winning 10 games in a row, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's good job. Don't get me wrong, very impressive. But what have they done?
I mean, I agree. I don't disagree with that.
Now, I do have one question for you. Have you seen the score of the Vanderbilt men's basketball game right now?
I have not.
They're up by 10 at the half, 48-38 on SMU.
Okay. The number 4 ranked team in the net.
They may not be number 4 after tonight.
I mean, I'd have to see what SMU's doing this year. But
I think SMU only has one. I think they're like 7-1 or 8-0 or something like that. They're solid so far.
Yeah, that'd be a good win.
So, all right. So let's look at Notre Dame. Okay. They lose to Miami at Miami, 27-24. Lose at home to A&M, 41-40, in a game that arguably they probably should have won. All right.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Purdue. They beat Arkansas. Beat Boise. Beat NC State. Beat Southern Cal. Struggle win against Boston College, which is not good. They beat Navy, but wasn't Navy's quarterback hurt in that game?
Is that the game he got hurt in?
I think that's the one he missed. Let me look at the stats real fast because I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Yes, Horvath didn't even play in that game.
Makes a difference.
Huge difference. They beat Pitt. They beat Syracuse. They beat Stanford. What in that? And by the way, they beat USC by only 10 points at home. Mm-hmm. What in that stretch makes you say, oh my gosh, Notre Dame needs to be top 10?
I don't think there is anything there. It's name brand recognition. That's all it is.
I mean, so I'll put it this way. All right, Southern Cal, Pitt, and
they're good wins. Don't get it wrong. Those are good wins.
All right, but hold on. Southern Cal, Pitt, and Navy. You put those teams up against LSU, Missouri, and Tennessee.
I mean, Tennessee's not beating any of them.
I disagree on that.
Tennessee has not beaten a single Power 4 team with a winning record this year. They're not beating any of them.
I think Tennessee could win at least 2 of those games.
No.
Sure. They would beat Navy.
Navy would control the clock and run the ball down their throat just like we did.
But what I'm trying to say is I feel like Vanderbilt's wins are stronger than Notre Dame's. Yes. Quit trying to hurt my point here. Yeah. But No, I'm just saying like their three key wins. They're not really nothing special. That being said, let me see something real quick while I'm thinking about it. Um, let me.
Which I 100% agree with you. Notre Dame, I don't see what they're seeing in them other than name brand recognition.
Okay, so Miami, they stay put, but yet but Pitt's not in the top 25 anymore.
Nope.
If
They didn't get
anything,
punished.
Vandy's win over Tennessee is a better win than Miami over Pitt. The way that
Should
it
be.
happened, yes,
Should be.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I don't know. That just doesn't sit well with me. Also, why did Alabama jump Notre Dame after their performance against Auburn?
I think they're trying to protect Alabama.
I think so too, and I don't like that. Are they trying
Now,
to make it where they have an argument to keep Alabama in the top 12 if they lose to Georgia?
yes. The problem with that one is going to be if Duke pulls the upset against Virginia, another G5 team is getting in.
That being said, the chances of Duke beating Virginia are pretty slim.
They're actually pretty good.
Virginia's already beat them at Duke.
Look at the score in that game.
Yeah, 34-17.
Mm-hmm.
And Duke scored 14 of their points in the fourth quarter.
Duke can score against anybody.
Well, they didn't do it for 3 quarters.
I'm just saying, Duke can score against anybody. It's not out of the realm of possible. There's a reason Virginia's only favored by 2.
Sure.
There's a reason Duke is a 2-point underdog. But for that matter, I want chaos.
I do too.
And I want chaos to the point I want Georgia to beat Alabama by 30.
Okay.
I want BYU to beat Texas Tech.
I say both of those stay in no matter what, though, in that case.
I want North Texas to beat Tulane.
I do too.
I want Duke to beat Virginia. I want all of the chaos.
That's fair.
All of it. I want to make Hunter Yurachek poop his pants.
I think he already did when he made his coaching hire, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Shout out to Sports Bites, Mr. Chris Joseph. Man,
thanks for joining us.
Man, I'm so happy for Chris Joseph, man.
Good to have you, sir.
I got to watch that man eat an apple the other day. That made me happy.
That's good.
Look, let me just say, I got to give a shout out to his Oklahoma Sooners. They handled us. That was a very low-scoring game. It was an ugly game, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
And they made big plays, and they earned that win. That was a hard-fought win, and they showed that the tenacity that they have in that team. That is a very strong team that's very dangerous in the playoffs. I don't have any idea how far I think they go, but I'm telling you, that's a dangerous team.
So let me send a flower real quick. The way they have the 2 lost teams in the SEC lined up, Oklahoma, okay. Alabama, Vanderbilt.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely correct. Alabama did beat Vanderbilt. Oklahoma did beat Alabama. They have that correct. They earned that spot. So anybody that's trying to compare Vanderbilt to Oklahoma and what the resumes are, stop it.
There's no comparison.
They earned their spot.
Because at the end of the day, Vanderbilt beat LSU better than Oklahoma did, sure. But Oklahoma got it done on the road in Tuscaloosa, which is in the
Exactly.
DeBoer era is impossible. So
Exactly.
nah.
We handled common opponents fairly similar,
Yeah.
except for LSU, but Oklahoma beat Alabama. They deserve the spot where they're at.
Well, and another difference too is the fact that LSU's defense was extremely healthy versus Oklahoma versus what they were against Vanderbilt. So, I mean, it was a different kind of challenge in that game.
Yeah.
So, and obviously LSU playing under Frank Wilson, they were ready to run through a wall for the man. So they I mean, they gave it their all and just wasn't enough. I mean, OU's defense is legit. No question about it.
No question.
I mean, the fact that we couldn't score a touchdown after Perkins took that tip pass and intercepted it and ran it all the way down inside the 5. I mean, shout out to OU. I mean, they're fantastic. I'm actually happy to see them, after last season, I'm happy to see them bounce back and get into the playoff. They deserve it.
Yeah, I felt I needed to say that because there's a lot of people saying, well, Vanderbilt and OU, Vanderbilt and OU. You know what? We did beat Tennessee worse than they did in the same place.
Yep.
Cool. We both played Missouri to a close ball game. We both, all kinds of results the same.
There you go.
So
I like that.
I feel like Oklahoma's earned their spot, and they shouldn't. Anybody that's saying that they should be compared to Vanderbilt is off their rocker. They earned their spot. They deserve to be where they're at.
So, Chris Joseph, this is for you. Are you going to take your son if you get to go to Norman? Because that would be awesome. That'd be a fun road trip for you guys.
Mm-hmm. Would be.
But nah, OU deserves it, man. I'm very, very, very just thrilled for them because I mean, after last season, they had a lot of injuries they dealt with, and first year in the SEC, that was tough to have to go through all those injuries, and it looked like it was going to be the same. Let's see. Trying to work it out. I love it, man. I really hope it happens. They had some issues this year, obviously with John Mateer getting his hand injury, which honestly, blessing.
Does that affect the Texas game?
Oh, 1,000%. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They replay that game on again. I will say OU wins that game 7 out of 10 times. If I'm being honest, I really think they do. But I think one advantage for OU going into the playoff is Mateer gets some extra time for his hand and gets to rest it up, feeling better, and I'm excited. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna upload that graphic that Chris Joseph sent me the other day because it's. Let's see. Let me find it real fast. Yeah, because he sent it to me the other day, and it was absolutely fantastic. All right, saved. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Because, a lot of people have been talking about how OU's offense is, not that great this year after the injury and all that. Well, numbers say differently.
They put up 33 in Knoxville.
Exactly. But let me
they put up 17 against Missouri, same thing Vanderbilt put up against them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't see what the problem is.
All right, let's see where to go. Here it is. Oops. What the heck? There it is. All right. So, who has better offense? Putting Alabama and OU compared, okay? I mean, total yards, look at that. Against Auburn, Bama 280, OU 303, okay? Against LSU, 393 to 344. Against South Carolina, Bama barely edged them out at 325 to 319. Tennessee, Bama barely edged them out in that one as well. And then Mizzou, I mean, very close. But as you see, though, it's not like OU is, bad. I mean, don't get me wrong. OU could be better, but everybody's offense could be better. So, it's hard to Right here. Look, has OU's offense been pretty? No. But narrative is how horrible it is, but Bama can win the title. I mean, I think that's fair. And let's be real about something else. OU's got a better defense than Alabama.
Much
100%.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I feel like Oklahoma's in the right spot. I think Ole Miss should be out. I think Miami should be, if we're going by precedent,
Fair.
they should be out.
I mean, I think that's fair. And I mean, and I'll be honest on this one. I think if Ole Miss played Oklahoma again, I think Oklahoma wins that game 7 out of 10 times.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I mean, and like you said too, R. Mason Thomas will be healthy. That's huge for them in the playoff for sure. And that'd be great to see him back. And that's scary, the fact that he hasn't been playing. Because imagine what that game would have looked like with LSU had he played. It'd have been even worse. Because he's reckless, and I love it. But I don't know. I'm excited. Let's go ahead and, since we're kind of on the topic of the rankings, let's pull up the current CFP rankings right now. I love it. I love it.
It's basically common sense, right?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so right now the projected CFP has Tulane at number 12, which realistically is between them and North Texas. North Texas is currently ranked one spot ahead of James Madison in the rankings. With a win over Tulane, that will trump a win for JMU over Troy. So
yeah,
Tulane is ranked better than both the teams. I mean, Tulane played a little bit of a stronger schedule. I get it. And then they're picked to face Oregon at this point, that's a fun matchup. Then you have an Alabama-Oklahoma rematch. Alabama-Oklahoma in Norman for a playoff game, good Lord. Mm-hmm. Those fans are already awesome. As long as that's a night game, good Lord, that'll be fantastic to witness. Mm-hmm. Virginia's the projected winner of the ACC against Ole Miss. In that game, I'll be honest with you, I think Virginia gives Ole Miss fits.
Yeah.
They're just a wild football team. Do I think Ole Miss should win? Sure. But no, in these kind of games, Ole Miss plays close.
Ole Miss has lived on the edge a lot this year.
And without their leading man, it's going to be tough to overcome. Notre Dame, Texas A&M projected rematch again.
If that happens, Notre Dame beats them by 2 touchdowns,
if not more. I think it's going to be nasty. I really do. Now, A&M should,
as much as I love Marcel Reed and what that offense does, Notre Dame wins that by 2 touchdowns.
So I know that A&M should be healthy at running back by the time the playoff game happens. At least that's how it's trending. So that's good to know. So that being said, it looks like the Peach Bowl would probably be so the Peach Bowl will be the winner of whoever wins between Notre Dame A&M against Indiana, and then so it'd be that winner versus the winner of Virginia or Ole Miss versus Georgia. So more than likely Georgia, Indiana in Atlanta, which everybody pray for me. My fingers are crossed. I put in to get credentials for that Peach Bowl game. I would love to be able to cover it. Rep the Golden Broom there. Rep CF backers. It would be such a fantastic moment. I haven't done sports media like where I actually cover it at the game in a very long time. Last time I did sports media, I was covering the UFC, and I ate dinner with Joe Rogan that night, which was really cool. But this would be special because that's a bucket list to go to to get to go to a college football playoff semifinal game. That's a bucket list item for me.
So let's take a look at chaos happening, right?
Yes, please.
So the AAC championship, Tulane versus North Texas.
Yes.
North Texas wins that game. They get that number 12 spot.
Yep.
Duke versus Virginia.
Well, hold on a second, though. Actually.
Wait. Hear me out.
Okay, I'm listening.
Duke versus Virginia. Duke wins.
Okay.
Now you have a problem.
Well, yeah, because North Texas would go to number 11, I think, at that point.
Probably, because the automatic bids go to the 5 highest ranked conference champions.
Yep.
The conference champion in the ACC would be behind the Sun Belt Conference champion, which makes the Sun Belt Conference champion the next in. So you'll have North Texas and James Madison both in the playoffs.
And that would be wild.
Now, let's take the next one. Big 12. BYU beats Texas Tech. What do you do with Texas Tech? They have to drop from number 4, right?
Yes.
Okay. But then where do you put BYU? Are they number 10 and knock out Notre Dame?
I think it depends on how much they beat Texas Tech by. If they win by like 10 or so points.
They still have to go in.
No. I'm saying they're in. I'm saying where you position them, though, in the rankings.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, it's like, do you put Texas Tech down at 10 and put BYU at 9?
That might be what happens.
And then let me ask you, though. So Alabama, Georgia.
If Georgia wins that game by 3 touchdowns or more, what do you do with them?
I say Georgia would stay. I think at the end of the day, Georgia's going.
What do you do with Alabama in that case?
So I think Alabama has to be out at that point.
What about Notre Dame? Don't they have to be? Alabama or Notre Dame would drop out if BYU wins.
Yes,
it depends on how bad Alabama would drop if they got ran off the field. If they get beat by 3 or 4 touchdowns, I think they're dropping out and Notre Dame stays in.
I think that's fair.
I want chaos.
So then let me ask you this, though. With the same record, why is it that Miami is not in over Notre Dame? I thought head-to-head mattered.
It should matter. But again, they are the 3rd place team in the ACC.
I mean, I agree. Yeah.
They should be behind Virginia and SMU for that matter.
All right, so
and
give me.
SMU's not even in the top 25.
No, not at all. So let me ask you an honest question. Who wins, do you think, between Ohio State and Indiana?
Oh, Ohio State's going to win that game.
Do you really think so?
Yeah.
Okay. So in that case, then where do you put Indiana? You put them at, I guess it depends on the score, but you probably
you have to leave them at 2.
No, I think if Georgia wins, they go to 2.
If they win big, Georgia would jump them. But why are you going to punish the number 2 team for losing to the number 1 team?
Well, not necessarily. I'm saying like at least moving to like 3 or 4.
But why?
Maybe 3.
You got beat by number 1. You're expected to lose that game.
I mean, I'd be okay with them flip-flopping with Georgia.
If Georgia wins big.
I mean, even if Georgia wins close, I think it's fair to flip-flop them.
Why would you're punishing Indiana for a conference championship game?
This may shock you, but I actually think Indiana wins.
I don't think they do.
Not only do I think Indiana wins.
I've seen them struggle too many times this year.
But we also haven't seen Ohio State play anyone. And the only time they did play someone was Texas, and they only won 14-7.
But they won.
Correct. But notice how they pretty much blow the doors off everybody else because they didn't really play anybody. They had an easy slate in the Big Ten. Their first real challenge, essentially, outside of Washington, who ended up not being that great, was Michigan. And Michigan's not that great.
I just don't think you can punish Indiana for losing the conference championship game by dropping them.
Well, I mean,
when the team they're losing to is ranked ahead of them.
Well, sure, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I don't think it'd be a big deal to make them go from 2 to 3 if they lose. I don't think that's a problem. I don't think they leave the top 4 regardless. Even if they got beat 70-0, I think they stay in the top 4
Yeah. Oh, they have
because
to stay. They have to
there's
stay in the
no,
top 4. No question.
at least in my eyes, there's no scenario where I see Texas Tech jumping Indiana. There's not a chance. I mean, I
I
think
don't think
Texas
so
Tech is
either.
good, but I think, let's be real, I think if Texas Tech plays, say, in Oregon or, North Texas or whoever, I mean, I'm not so sure Texas Tech gets by those teams. I mean, I think they probably beat North Texas, but I don't think they beat Oregon.
Is Will Stein calling plays for Oregon?
I haven't seen the reports, but I would think so.
Because I
I
know
don't.
Brian Hartline is for Ohio State.
Yeah, so in that case, then yes, I would say he is. I don't see where there would be some kind of like backhanded move that says, "Nope, sorry, you can't coach that."
I see our friend Sarah over here cheering on the Rebels.
Ugh, I don't like Ole Miss.
But I have to say, and I'm going to say this till I'm blue in the face.
Oh my god.
Brian Hartline coaching for Ohio State is a different situation.
Oh yeah, he's a
Then
coordinator. Coordinator and a head coach are two different
okay,
things.
hear me out. Hear me out. It's a him calling plays for Ohio State is a totally different situation than Charlie Weiss calling plays for Ole Miss. Completely different situations.
What you mean?
Charlie Weiss is an official employee of LSU University. That's an in-conference rival. You cannot let that man call your plays.
I
You
think that's
can't.
fair. I
You
think that's
can't.
fair.
And for comparison, if the coaching staff at Ohio State left and went to Michigan, do you think Ohio State would let Michigan's offensive coordinator call their plays in the playoffs? Not
No,
a
no,
chance.
definitely not. Now it makes me wonder. And I mean, what do you think? Do you think Charlie Weiss is going to even put anything in any of the players' ears about hit the portal, hit the portal, hit the portal?
100% I don't trust it.
I will say this. I think that there needs to be someone around Charlie Weiss at all times to make sure that he doesn't try to do any kind of backhanded stuff. Like, I'm not to question his character. I really don't
Right.
know much about the kid, but I mean, he might be a. I
You
mean,
just can't let that situation happen.
yeah. I mean, I get that why he wants to go back and call the plays. He doesn't want to give up on his team. I get that. I do.
I get it. I get it.
But I think there needs to be something set in place where it's guaranteed that he's not in there trying to stir up something
Mm-hmm.
for after the season. Because if that's the case, I think some kind of penalty needs to be enforced. Even though it benefits the team that I cheer for, I think some kind of penalty would need to be enforced towards LSU should he do something like that, because that's wrong.
Yeah. And that's why you can't let him call plays. I think it's a huge mistake by Ole Miss. So I don't know. It's a convoluted mess. I just have no faith in the playoff committee. I heard some
Yeah.
information today that of the credentialed media covering the playoff committee, the vast majority of them are Miami graduates or Miami affiliated.
Really?
Yes. That Miami's actually got a good journalism school.
Oh, yeah, I knew that, but
So
I
it's
didn't
like
realize that so many were affiliated. That's weird.
so it's like they're pushing the narrative and the committee's listening. But you know it's corrupt when midstream you put somebody on the committee whose team was on the bubble.
Yeah.
That just screams that's not okay. So I've said my piece about the college football playoffs. I've said my piece about the college football committee. 2 words: F you.
I like it. I like it a lot. Man. All right. Well, before we move forward and discuss the coaching hires, let me go ahead and remove this from my screen. Let's go ahead and let's do a quick break, and we'll be back in about a minute and 50 seconds. All right, welcome back. Shout out to Brandon for making that, man. That thing is awesome. I really like that. It is. All right, so we are back, and before we close the show out tonight, we're going to do a couple things. So we're going to talk about the new coaching hires and show our rankings of those, which we'll have to explain these a little bit because I had to make a last minute edit for a ranking. So I literally just did an asterisk and put him where he would be in the rankings because I just was not going back and redoing all that. But after that, we'll do our conference championship predictions. So let's go ahead and talk about our coach hire rankings. So as you see on the left side, where Chris put his rankings, right side I put my rankings. Obviously, our rankings look a lot different from each other, and we have different reasons for why we did that. But our rankings are also very similar because a lot of these, I looked at his list. I saw his list before I did mine, and I was like, well, he's not wrong. And I understand why he put my number 1 at number 8, or technically number 9 now. So I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about it. So you say James Franklin is the number 1 hire.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to argue that because I get it. But I think that I ranked mine a different way than you ranked yours. So I will say this. Everything that Franklin has done since being announced as the head coach at Virginia Tech, especially what he did this morning, I get it. Let me tell you something. You putting crumble cookies out there for everybody to see is the ultimate FU to Penn State.
Yes.
And I absolutely love that. So, I mean, and let's be real. I mean, at this point,
it's a good fit.
It is. It's a fantastic fit. And I know one thing. I'm pretty sure that Penn State regrets letting him go.
Oh, if they don't, they're dumb.
Well, considering they only have 2 committed players and they're outside of the top 100 in recruiting rankings. So, I mean,
150th.
Penn State should never be that bad in recruiting rankings. I don't care if you don't have a coach.
Even before Franklin went to Penn State and they were embroiled in all that mess with the coach should forever be forgotten. Not Joe Paterno, by the way, because that they railroaded him. But the worst they ever got in that mess was 46th.
Yep.
You're at 150th. You're behind McNeese State in recruiting rankings.
Shout out McNeese. Let's go. Let's go. So I see Alex Golish got number 2 on both of our lists, and I think rightfully so. So
Yep.
I have Golish over Franklin, not because I think Golish is a better coach than Franklin, because Golish has not had the time to prove that yet.
Right.
Yeah, but I put Golish at number 2 because I feel like Auburn finally got it right. And I feel like they won by getting Golish because let's be real,
Yes.
Golish was a great fit at Arkansas. He's a great fit for Oklahoma State. He's a great fit for Florida. Auburn got him, and that's huge
And
because
make no mistake, Hunter Yurchek, you've heard that name a lot, absolutely messed that up by letting certain beat writers know about it. Trey Sapp, I'll call you out by name. You should have kept that quiet. Period.
yes.
The end.
That's one thing that I really absolutely hate about this football season is that a lot of beat writers have been releasing stuff that does not need to be released. Because let's be
Absolutely.
real, that shouldn't have been released. All the behind the scenes drama at LSU with the governor getting in and all that crap shouldn't have been released. That's stupid. It makes you look bad.
Yep.
All the behind the scenes information on Penn State missing and missing and missing and the reasons behind it and everything like that, like, don't release that crap. It's
Mhm.
stupid. It doesn't need to be out there. There's some things that need to be just left to the imagination.
Mhm.
I don't want to know what actually happened behind the scenes at LSU. I just want to think that, hey, you're gone. That's it. We'll discuss how we're going to pay you, what we're going to pay you. Let it just be that and be done with it.
I
Now, Brian Kelly looks like a piece of crap. I mean, let's be real. He's not the greatest person, but this situation's made him look really bad. It's made LSU look really bad. Then Lane Kiffin come in there. That situation made everybody look bad. It makes LSU look like the ultimate villains. Shout out Villains Media Network. And it's just, it's just nothing but just smoke everywhere, and it's not good. I don't like the way that Lane Kiffin released him leaving and going to LSU. I don't like that post that he made. That was stupid. You don't call out the AD and say, "Well, I tried to stay." Blah, blah. Nobody cares. You had your meeting with your players. You said what you said to your players. If you truly meant what you said, then you meant it. That's it. They don't need to know that, oh, I tried. If they need to know that, you tell them privately. You don't put that shit on social media. It's stupid. It's pointless. It has no place. It's just fuel. I feel like he's trying to troll it so that next year when the two teams meet, it's some crazy ordeal. We don't need that right now. All he needs to do, get to Baton Rouge,
go recruit, go
your
win football games.
yes, spot the fucking ball and get your players that you need. Don't worry about Ole Miss. You're not at Ole Miss anymore. They don't want you there.
Right.
Worry about your job. That's it. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
I can't believe I just dropped an F-bomb. I don't do that on this show. Now we've had 2 dropped on this show. I promise we're a family-friendly show. But sometimes stuff is just stupid. And we have to say,
Sorry, we set off this tangent by talking about Alex Golis and how Arkansas screwed that up.
yes, because they did. They did. Which is why you see where their head coach hire is. After that, you have Will Stein at number 3. I put Will Stein at number 6 only because he's not proven as a head coach yet. So I put him right in the middle because I'm like, he's got potential. He's obviously a good offensive coordinator. He knows what he's doing. I like what he can do. So I have him kind of stuck there. Now, why did you put him so high?
So he's a fantastic offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know what he had to work with at Oregon this year
Mm-hmm.
at quarterback, which is Dante Moore. I know what Dante Moore put on tape when he was at UCLA. It wasn't good.
That's a very good point.
And he turned this guy into a quarterback of a top 10 football team that's only got 1 loss on the season and has played his butt off.
Yes, but hey, let's be real about one thing too, though.
If Will Stein can do that with him, he's got a great starting point with Cutter Boley at Kentucky.
Absolutely. Who is good. He has potential.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic hire right there.
Yeah, because, let's be real. Dante Moore, when he was at UCLA, he was just thrown in the fire, though. Yeah. He didn't have a choice. And unfortunately, he was thrown to the fire around a team that was not very good. And it didn't go in his favor. So it is what it is. Then when he finally got with someone that actually knows what they're doing and can actually cater to what he is, who he is, and how he needs to be as a quarterback, that's made him a better player. Now the question is, what does Dante Moore do next? Does he stay, or does he follow Will Stein and go to Kentucky? I don't think he'll leave.
If he were to follow Stein to Kentucky, I think that would be a huge benefit for Cutter Boley.
Yes. Agreed.
Because he kind of got thrown to the wolves this year.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't be opposed to seeing him sit for another year. But if he doesn't, he's got a coach that knows what he's doing in handling a quarterback and getting them to play to their potential.
Let me tell you something. If somehow Dante Moore goes in the portal and ends up at Kentucky, shout out to Kentucky.
Yes.
Also, who would have thought a couple months ago that we'd be talking about Kentucky making a really good football hire?
Right.
Like, hey, you know what? Shout out to Mark Stoops, by the way.
That was classic.
That was fan. I mean,
I'll give that to him.
That was the best parting of ways of all the coaching.
Because he could have 100% put them in a bad hole.
Yes.
A bad hole.
Because not only did he put them in a good spot by being able to spread out the payments, which I'm sure Kentucky could come up with the money and make it happen if they had to, but it would set them back.
The problem was the boosters want Mitch Barnhart gone.
Sure.
They were not willing to fund the buyout for Stoops because they didn't want Barnhart to make the hire. They were willing to sit with Stoops for another year so Barnhart would be gone and the new AD could do something.
Well, they need to give Barnhart some props because he made a hell of a hire.
Yes.
I'm still shocked at how quickly that happened.
It went quick. Quick. So apparently Barnhart had his guy. He knew what he wanted and he went for it because there were only 2 interviews done. There was Brian Hartline and Will Stein. Both guys wanted the job and they went with Stein. Now, of course, we'll get to Brian Hartline later, but credit to Kentucky. They handled business.
Absolutely. The next one on our list, Alex Morris. The reason I have him at 4, and I'm sure he's probably the same, is because the people that I have above him, I feel like are just a step ahead. I think Alex Morris, though, he's a quarterback whisperer. If Mestemaker is not at Oklahoma State next year, I'd be surprised. Mestemaker fits exactly what Oklahoma State football has been known for throughout the years.
Yep.
I really hope he follows his coach because his coach gave him a chance, and they both worked for each other.
And credit to North Texas for allowing Morris to stay with the team until the season is over.
Yes. And the AD had a very classy statement that he posted the other day. Like it was really nice. And I think Alex Morris he's got a great future ahead of him. I really hope that he gets the financial backing that he deserves at Oklahoma State.
Yes.
I hope that things really change because I think Oklahoma State deserves to be good at football again, especially in this new modern era. And I mean, because they have good fans. I've never met a bad Oklahoma State fan ever. So I really look forward to that future there. The next guy we have on the list, Pat Fitzgerald. Dude's absolute unit, man. He's done fantastic at Northwestern. He's beyond overachieved there.
Yep.
He did everything he could. He even got him a new stadium, essentially, if you want to think about it.
Yep.
And him going to Michigan State, I mean, that's like a dream job. I mean, let's be real.
I think that's a good fit.
It is. I mean, Michigan State's a good program. It is. They've been down over the last few years after the Mel Tucker crap, and it just never bounced up from there.
Mm-hmm.
The energy that Pat Fitzgerald's bringing into that program now, as long as they get good financial backing to get some big players, Michigan State should be back in the next two or 3 years.
Right.
Bob Chesney, for me, was kind of just like I'm just going to have him floating there. I think he's a good coach. I think but I think he's limited with what he can do at UCLA, though.
Right.
And that's why I have him so low on my list versus you having him in the middle.
I mean, we got a couple slots between them. I like his ability to do stuff.
Yeah.
And what he's done at James Madison. My question about that hire is, if you're Bob Chesney, why do you go there? There's nothing about UCLA that today tells me that's a better situation than he had at James Madison.
I mean, unless he just likes the LA culture.
So I don't understand that move at all. I would have stayed at James Madison because I know that UCLA is in financial disarray, and I don't know if they have the support to make him successful. But I
Yeah.
love the hire as far as the X's and O's and being able to coach good football.
Do you think that he possibly has a mindset of he saw what Cignetti was able to do with Indiana, and he saw what he did himself at James Madison when he replaced Cignetti, and maybe he's like, hey,
I can parlay this. Yeah.
exactly. And I think that's the kind of risk he's trying to take here. Now,
Right.
I will say, though, the difference is Cignetti's already proven himself at Indiana more than anything. Chesney, on the other hand, has way more to lose in this situation.
I think so too.
So, but I mean, I wish him at the absolute best.
Mm-hmm.
The next hire on your list, this is the one I want to talk about a little bit. John Summerall.
Yep.
Florida fans are kind of, some are happy, some are because they feel like it's Sunbelt Billy 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, technically, it kind of is. Except, John Summerall is a really good coach.
So was Billy Napier until he got
Yes.
to Florida.
Yeah. Now, my question, I will say this. So, Florida athletics right now, as a whole, is kind of in a really just, they're kind of stuck in purgatory right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, their programs are respectable. I mean, football's gone down. Baseball is kind of just.
There's so much that can happen with Florida baseball right now that is unpredictable.
Yep.
We know that Sully just took a leave of absence for personal reasons. We've seen the accusations that are out there. I don't want to talk about him, but there's a chance he might not be back.
Which is weird because
they
I
name the interim coach, and a week later he takes a different job.
That was shocking.
Florida athletics right now is in a weird position. You just don't know what's going to happen there.
I agree.
But for me, the reason I put him there, it's not so much about him. It's about Florida. Because they had an opportunity to be number 2 on this list. And they gapped. They gapped on it.
Yes, I feel like they definitely, had they gotten Golish or even
they'd
Kiffin.
be number 2. Yeah,
they got Golish or Kiffin, they're number 2 on this list. Because Kiffin fits Florida better than he fits LSU. Let's just be real. But no, I mean, I will say this though. Florida did. I mean, I think they did well.
Yep.
But they went from having an A+, or I'll just say a solid A hire to having a B hire. Unfortunately. Now, when I look at this now, I'm starting to think that maybe I underranked Brian Hartline because, well, let me tell you why. Okay, I think Brian Hartline has a great future ahead of him as a head coach. I really do. I think he's going to be able to get the job done. I'm more impressed at the fact that South Florida was able to pull him. Because, I mean, they did it quick.
That didn't take long either.
No, it was a very fast hire. You know, John Gruden was actually rumored to take that job at first. That was the first name.
He actually spoke to them on Sunday.
Exactly.
Now, I don't know if it was of him being interested or an interview. It could have just been an advisory role of who would you get.
Well, I think what it was, because I mean, he's made it clear that he wants to coach again. He has. I think it was more of just a conversation. I think it was more of him hearing what they're wanting, them hearing what he's wanting, not like hey, let's interview and go full into this. Let's just see where each of us are at, and let's see if this would be a match. And I think that's all that was.
Yeah.
And then Heartline happens, and I think it's a great hire. I do. I think that the fact that they go from a coach like Golish to a coach like Heartline, let's be real, those two guys are very similar.
So I
So
like the hire. I like where USF is going. I just don't know if Heartline can continue what Golish was doing, just
I mean,
because he doesn't have the experience.
let's be real. Like replacing an Alex Golish in a G5 school is like stepping in and replacing a. I don't want to use Nick Saban as an example because that's
Clark
like
Lee,
really high. Yes, that's like
somebody
right
that
now having to go into
somebody that
Vanderbilt and
yeah,
replace a Clark Lee.
somebody that's built something out of nothing.
Yes, and I mean that's tough to do, and I
Right.
mean big shoes to fill to say the
Big
least.
shoes, yes.
All right, so then the next coach on your list is Lane Kiffin,
Mm-hmm.
and you told me doesn't do anything for you. I get it.
Because other than the last 2 years at Ole Miss, what has he done?
Well,
Cool. He had 2 good years at Florida Atlantic or
I don't even count those
Florida
years.
International, whatever it was. But if you go back and look, he really didn't do anything at Tennessee. He takes the Raiders job, gets ran out of town. He takes the USC job. They left him standing on the damn tarmac because he sucked and they ran him out. Then he gets a Raiders job. They ran him off. I mean, what has he done? It it doesn't pull my strings that he's that great of a coach.
I mean, 4 of the 6 years he was at Ole Miss, he had at least 10 plus wins. That's solid. 2 of the 3 years at Florida Atlantic, he had 10 plus wins. At USC, he had a 10 plus win season, one in 4 years. Let's see. In his time coaching, he has only had a losing record, a 500 or losing record twice. One at Florida Atlantic and COVID season at Ole Miss. He went 5-5 that year at Ole Miss.
Right. I get all that, but he's never won anything.
No,
He's
he
not.
really
He's
hadn't.
zero conference championships, zero conference championship game appearances.
Yeah,
What's the draw?
let's
Cool.
see.
If you want to win 9 games a year, he's your guy.
The best. Let's see. Lane Kiffin's biggest flex would be 2023 for sure, and his team went 11-2. They went 6-2 in conference. Unfortunately, Alabama was just really good that year. Only
Mm-hmm.
losses were to Alabama on the road, 24-10, and then at Georgia got blown out 52-17, and then go on to the Peach Bowl and defeat Penn State, and they won 38-25 in that, and they finished 11-2. That was a great season for him.
Sure.
It was, but he didn't get an SEC championship. He didn't go further than he's never really pushed through that threshold, and that's where this hire for LSU is weird to me, is because Kiffin finally got to where he had dreamed to be, essentially,
Mm-hmm.
and he walks away from it.
Yeah.
Is that him saying? Is that him saying that he had no faith in his team advancing, so he was ready for the payout and just go?
I don't know.
It's just very weird.
Yeah, it's weird to me. It doesn't pull my strings. If you want to win 9, 10 games a year, he's your guy.
Yeah.
But he hasn't really done anything to prove that he is that guy.
I mean, that's fair. It is. So the reason I have him number one on my list is because finally LSU targets a coach and their number one pick is who they land. That made me happy.
Fair.
Now, I will say, and you've heard me say this from the beginning, I have not jumped on the Lane train. I'm not on the Lane train. He's my coach.
Right.
I support him, and I want him to do his absolute best. But from the beginning, I wanted Clark Lee, which who wouldn't want Clark Lee after the season they had
Fair.
this year? You know, I wanted a big name. Like I really did. And don't get me wrong, Kiffin is a big name in the industry. He is. What he's done at Ole Miss has been great. But is it good enough?
Right.
I mean, a lot of people are sold that he's gonna thrive and do all these wonderful things. Well, I'll believe it when I see it.
Exactly.
I will not be sold on this is gonna sound crazy. I'm not sold on Lane Kiffin as a coach until he hoists that trophy up.
Which one, the SEC or the Natty?
Both.
Fair.
If he wins the SEC, cool. I'm happy. I'm thrilled.
Mm-hmm.
The Natty is what I care about.
Fair. And
But we'll see.
shout out to Water Cooler Sports Podcast giving us a view tonight.
What's
Appreciate you
up?
over there, Nick. I'm sure Nick likes both of our lists with Alex Golesh up there at number 2.
Because it's a fantastic hire. Auburn did great.
Absolute fantastic.
I mean, Auburn finally, like, through the year, I'm sorry, but I think Auburn's has not had a good coach in a long time, to say the least. And look, I understand, Tuberville had an undefeated season with Auburn. He beat Alabama a bunch of times when Alabama wasn't that great. And then you get Chiswick. Can't even talk. I'm gonna start calling him Cheez-It now.
Yeah.
You get Chiswick, I mean, whatever. You get Malzahn, whatever. I mean, look, I know you got a natty in there. Cool. That's great. It is. But Coach O got a natty at LSU. Look at him. That's just how I look at it.
See?
You go
Alex Rose at number 2 is perfect. We have a ball coach now.
Exactly. And I think that as long as he can win over the state of Alabama in general, like recruiting wise, he's set. He really is. Because, I mean, he's already got ties to Florida, so that's not an issue.
Right.
And now at Auburn, he has the resources to go after those big fish that he couldn't get at South Florida.
Right.
Now, my big question is, though, can he keep this team together?
I think there's a couple guys that are probably going to transfer. But guess what? Don't sweat it. Let this man do his thing. Well, don't jump off the train just because some guys walk away. If they walk away, they don't want to be there. If they don't want to be there, you don't want them on your team.
See, I feel like Hugh Freeze was hired at Auburn because they liked his offensive style at Ole Miss, and they really thought that he could bring in that punch. I think bringing Alex Golesh in, not only do you bring in that punch, but that punch goes through a wall and it just destroys everything because the talent that's currently on that team, Deuce with Alex Golesh, oh my gosh, that's not fair.
Yeah.
If he can keep that receiver core in check, if he can just keep his offense in check and not lose them, he's set. I'm curious to see who he decides to be his other coaches. Do you leave DJ Durkin as the defensive coordinator? I would.
Durkin has been retained.
Okay, good.
I don't know.
That's huge.
We don't know if he's going to be the DC or whatever, but he has been retained. He's bringing in Kobe Burns, that was his offensive coordinator at South Florida. I think he's got a good staff put together.
I tell you what, the Cody Burns coming in, that's making me happy. That really, I like seeing someone go back to their school and get to coach there. That's cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of coaching hires, also, Memphis and Tulane, they're on the hunt for a coach. And both schools have actually interviewed Blake Baker from LSU, the defensive coordinator, who is another name that I said that I would have been okay with being named the head coach at LSU because I like him. He's a great guy. He played football at Tulane, so I get it. And they say that it's pretty much his to lose at this point. Memphis would be a great pick for him as well.
Will be the DC.
That's awesome. I like that. Basically, you're getting what you saw at South Florida up in Auburn, except with a little bit better talent there. But yeah, I'm thrilled for Auburn. They deserve it. They do. Auburn are great. Those fans are great people. The rest of our list, Stanford getting Tavita Pritchard. I think it's a good move. I do.
I don't know nothing about him. What I do know is that when they decided to make the change, a former alumnus donated $50 million to their NIL program. I don't know who that former alumnus is. I have my suspicions. It was never made public who it was.
Shout out 49ers.
I don't think that guy has that kind of money. Because I know who you're talking about.
Oh, you're thinking Elway. Never mind.
I think it was John Elway he's got that kind of money.
It's fair. Yeah.
If you're going to invest in that program and give him the resources, sky's the limit.
Yeah. Now, my question is this. Why didn't Andrew Luck just step in and take the job?
He's the director of football operations already.
I know, but I'm saying, like, why not just step in and be the head coach?
Because I don't think he wants to be a coach. He's
more
of a management type guy.
I mean, he's an intelligent guy, so I get it.
Got a good question here. Why isn't Chesney higher?
Because the hire makes no sense.
I'll explain. Yeah, the hire
for
doesn't
Chesney.
make any sense.
For Chesney. It makes sense for
Chesney.
UCLA, but not for Chesney.
For UCLA, that's a good pick. But for Bob Chesney, there's nothing about UCLA that says it's a better program than James Madison.
Currently, by the way. Historically, yes. Currently, no.
Yeah, I can go into some numbers. Since 2019, UCLA's athletic budget has been $18 million in the red or more. And all total since 2019, they're $217 million in the hole. I don't know that UCLA has got the resources to make it a successful move for Chesney. I personally would have stayed at James Madison.
How the heck is UCLA baseball so good when their athletics department is terrible?
Because it doesn't require a lot of money.
I mean, to get a guy like Rock Cholowski, though, my God.
The baseball program doesn't take the kind of money the football program does. And that's...
Have you noticed that I've dropped a lot of baseball nuggets tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell where my mind's starting to finally shift back to? Let me tell you something. I am so ready for us to get back to baseball. It's not even funny.
Oh, we'll get there.
I'm ready for it right now.
We got a little bit of basketball coming up first.
Oh, there's gonna be a lot of basketball talk. I mean, speaking of that, let me before we get to the worst hire on our list, which by the way, I know you had the Cal spot and the Penn State spot like moved up in your list, but I put them at the bottom because they weren't filled. Cal is filled. We'll update that one, but let me. I need to check on the update on the basketball games because I'm genuinely curious what's happening in the SEC currently. All right, right now. Virginia is smoking Texas 80-53. Mississippi State is beating Georgia Tech 76-61. Auburn is up 80-68 on NC State. Arkansas beat Louisville 89-80. That's a good win for Arkansas. Bama beat Clemson 90-84. LSU beat Boston College 78-69, and Vanderbilt beats SMU 88-69.
Tyler Tanner with the big 26 tonight.
How about that? Vanderbilt 9-0, LSU 8-0. We're the only two undefeated teams in the SEC right now. How insane is that?
Don't say it out loud. Nate might get offended.
But isn't it just the weirdest thing ever, though?
Yes, thanks, Nate, for recognizing that. Appreciate it.
Where's my shout out, man? Come on.
Right? And my friend Brandon Ivy up in Greenville, Tennessee, giving us a shout out tonight. Kind of picking on me a little bit about being 14th in the playoff poll. It's fun. He is my co-host on Sunday evenings on Spot the Ball podcast. We'll have a big show this Sunday night talking about all the state championships. Appreciate him chiming in here tonight.
Absolutely. I'm floored that LSU's 8-0. I know that we haven't played a lot of big teams yet, we haven't played what Vanderbilt has, and I mean Vanderbilt also hasn't played a ton of big teams, but their last few games have been bigger teams, and they've proven they can hang, and I'm loving seeing that.
Go look at UCF's record.
Oh, UCF is great. We beat UCF in an exhibition before the season started.
That's a good win.
It is. No, it is, and it makes me excited. But no, LSU, their last few games, they beat Drake, they beat DePaul, and now they beat Boston College. Boston College isn't that great, but we beat them, and that makes me happy. But beating Drake and beating DePaul for me, because those are teams that are those hidden gems every year. I'm thrilled knowing that LSU is a clean slate right now. Now their next game though, and that one on the 7th, they play Texas Tech. They get them. I don't know where they play in this Coast to Coast Challenge, wherever the heck that's going to be at. But Texas Tech's ranked 19th right now. They sit at 6-2, so that'll be a interesting game. But after them, we do the same thing that Vanderbilt did. We play SMU, so that'll give me a good idea of where LSU actually is after seeing what Vandy did, and compare. I mean, which obviously nobody plays the same every night, but at least gives you some kind of idea. So happy about that. All right, back to our list. Ryan Silverfield from Memphis goes to Arkansas. Arkansas has so much freaking money. See, I didn't drop an F-bomb there. They have so much money. And they swing and miss on Golish. They were never in the chance to get Kiffin. They swing and miss on James Franklin. Shout out to Virginia Tech, by the way, for winning that and getting him, because that wasn't easy. Because Arkansas could have probably surpassed whatever financial hurdle there was if they wanted to.
Franklin said he spoke to other schools, i.e. Arkansas, and he did not like the vision for the program moving forward.
I respect it.
That's why he withdrew from every other job.
I mean, so you have the head of the CFP committee making a hire like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Ryan Silverfield, he beat Arkansas this year. Silverfield's a good coach, but compare him to the past Memphis coaches that have been there.
I'm not even going to say he's a good coach.
I mean, he's not a bad coach.
He inherited a program that was playing in a New Year's Six bowl game.
He did.
In 6 years, he never went to a conference championship. And twice in that 6 years, he was projected to be the number one team in the G5.
Yeah.
And got nowhere close to it.
True.
This is a guy that Memphis fans couldn't get ran off fast enough. And this is who you hire? Arkansas just told the entire world that they are not serious about college football with this hire.
All right, so let me ask you this. Justin Fuente, Mike Norvell, Ryan Silverfield, rank the three.
Name them again.
Justin Fuente, Mike Norvell, and Ryan Silverfield. Rank them.
Norvell, Fuente, Silverfield.
There you go. Which, that being said, Fuente, he had a 26-24 record, but to be fair, he was recovering from a team that went 3-21 over the 2 seasons previously.
Yes. What he inherited was not a New Year's Six bowl team.
Put it this way. Before Fuente got there, Memphis had not even been serious since the 70s in football.
Right.
So, Mike Norvell, obviously, he shout out. Hell of a job at Memphis. He did it right.
Fuente got it up there. Norvell took it to the next level. And Silverfield kind of ran it off the road a little bit.
Maybe Memphis should bring back Norvell. I'm just saying. Just saying. Which, by the way, very surprised Florida State didn't make a move. I really thought they were going to.
I mean, he has had to deal with a lot of injuries the last 2 years.
He has.
I mean, give him one more shot. If he doesn't get it turned around, you got to make a move then.
I mean, how much does that suck though? You start your year off, you beat Alabama,
Yeah.
and then you finish 5-7. Considering Alabama is a high chance of making the playoff this year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just unheard of. And it's not that they beat Alabama, it's that they handily beat Alabama.
Yeah.
Like, it was pure domination. And I know Bama had some injuries going into that game. I get it. But that is the biggest, like, actually, no, it's not the biggest, no. No, Penn State was bad this year. That was bad. LSU, that was very bad. Clemson, that was bad. But at least Clemson and LSU got bowl eligible. Like, they're good.
Mm-hmm.
They at least got over that hurdle. But Penn State, there's no excuse there. But Florida State, though, going 5-7, when you start out that high.
But you started out with a team that went 2-10 last year.
Yeah.
They made improvement.
They did. But when you beat a team like Alabama to start the year, and it's all looking good, and then one game against Virginia, and your season just does that.
Let me derail this argument quick. The Las Vegas Raiders beat the New England Patriots in week 1.
The Raiders
So
are a better team right now. Yep. They are.
Stop it. Stop it.
I'm only saying that because
Just because
on
you beat
the
somebody
last
in-
episode you said the same. You used the same analogy, and I love it.
I mean, it's just because you beat somebody in week 1 doesn't mean you're good in week 10 or week 12 or week 15. That narrative has got to stop.
That's fair. That is. I mean, it's just. I mean, I'm more that it just blows my mind though that they started out with a win that high, and
Yeah.
it just went like that. It just from what I saw week 1 from them, it made me say, not only Florida State back, but they're a contender.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like you just got blown out by Florida, who's very, very bad at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's crazy. So, I don't know. Let me pull it up. I forgot who Cal hired.
They hired the defensive coordinator from Oregon.
Yes, Tosh Lupoy. That's right. I forgot about that.
I would put that ahead of Pritchard.
That's fair. Let me look
Now,
up.
There's another one on here that I'm going to put below Silverfield.
Who?
Colorado State.
Who'd they hire?
They hired Jim Moore Jr. And I get it.
Okay.
But that's not a fit at all. And there's nothing about Colorado State that says it's a better program than Connecticut and what he had going on there. If you win 10 games at Connecticut as an independent, you're going to be in the college football playoff discussion.
That's fair.
Why would you walk away from that to go to Colorado State that has never done anything?
Yeah.
The fit is weird to me.
Yeah. Oh, there was another new hire today as well. UAB hired Steve Englehart from Presbyterian.
Okay, that's a good hire.
It is. Yeah, they went 10-2 this year. They didn't make the postseason, but they did beat Mercer.
Okay.
So that helped. That's a good look. But no. So let me ask you, why do you have Lupoy so low on your list? Just curious.
Just lack of head coaching experience.
Oh, that's fair. So I like the hire a lot, though.
I like the hire. He just doesn't have experience, and I don't know how serious Cal is because you're firing a coach at 7-6.
True. But Lupoy is one of the best defensive minds in the game.
Fair.
And I think he is a phenomenal fit for Cal.
Yeah, he's an alumnus there.
Exactly.
Just,
He played there as his first coaching job.
I don't know if the resources are there to support him.
That's fair. That is. But I mean, it's not that Cal has really been a bad program over the last few years. I mean, they've been competitive.
Right.
I mean, they haven't now. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they're not like a up there program, but
right.
they show more potential than UCLA has shown over the last few years, at least.
Right. The difference for me is Chesney's done it at James Madison.
Sure.
Lupoy hasn't. That's a question for me.
Fair.
Do I think it's possible that he's going to be really good? It's possible. I just have no evidence to support it.
Yeah. I will say this though, everywhere that he's been in college, he's been great. As a coordinator, obviously.
Everywhere Derek Mason went as an assistant, he was great. And we see what that's turned into as a head coach.
He's great in terms
Stop
of
it.
lining up his bank account.
Yeah. That's about all he does good.
I'm still blown away that he has a job. I mean, like as a coordinator, sure, but
that they're staying with him for another year.
Yeah, like if you told me he was a DC at Middle Tennessee State, I'd be all right.
Now we're talking.
I can see it, but head coach, nah. But I mean, but the problem is though, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
Very likable guy. So it's like it's hard to talk negative about the guy, but it's also like, come on, man. The results are just not there.
Some people are meant to be coordinators and some are meant to be head coaches. He was meant to be a defensive assistant.
Yeah. There's one coach I'm going to look up real quick because I'm genuinely curious to like what he's even doing right now. Interesting. Do you remember years ago when Auburn almost hired Turner Gill when he was at Buffalo?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
and then he went to Kansas and bombed.
Liberty and all that. Yeah. You know where he's at right now?
I do not.
He's at Arkansas. He's the executive director of student athlete and staff development.
Oh, dear God.
I had no idea what he was doing. I don't even know why he popped into my head. But,
Another coaching change happened today.
Okay.
Chris Kleeman retired at Kansas State, and they hired Colin Klein.
Love that hire.
Former alumnus at Kansas State.
I don't call him an alumnus, man. That guy was the heart and soul of Kansas State.
Yes.
That dude was one of the toughest athletes I've ever seen play the game.
But that's another one of those jobs you don't know. Is it possible that it'd be great? Yes. But there's just no evidence to support that yet, if that makes any sense.
So let me ask you this question, because there is a vacant team on the list still, Penn State.
Oh, dear
And, all right, Kalani Sitake, that's who they've targeted. The Mormons have formed this super Mormon power team to keep him at BYU, essentially.
He announced to his team that he's staying.
Did he really?
Yes.
Oh, my God. The Mormon superpowers work.
There's a video of it.
Wow.
They actually reached out to somebody else today, and they turned him down.
Who?
Not interested. Jeff Brom at Louisville. Not interested.
You know. At this point, you know who I would go for.
You have to go with Terry Smith. There's no other answer.
I was going to say there's two people. So Terry Smith would be the first one I'd say. Number two, just to take a last Hail Mary attempt at someone, Tommy Rees.
No.
Everybody has him on the list as the next big head coach. Everybody has him penciled in for that. Why
There's
not?
a reason he's never been given a job yet.
Fair. Very fair.
You have to, if you're Penn State, you have to put a stop to the bleeding before you bleed out. Because guess what just happened? Early signing day. they have 2 signees. 2.
And
You're losing an entire recruiting class.
you have to really love Penn State to sign today, to say the least.
You've lost an entire recruiting class.
Yep. It's a shame.
You have to stop the bleeding or you're done.
I'm surprised they didn't go after like a Rhett Lashley or someone.
You never know. That might be a phone call.
I mean, it would make sense. I mean, at this point, and what really shocks me though is the fact that why would people turn down Penn State at this point? I mean, I know the AD is probably not favorable, but it's a big job.
You know the answer to that.
I don't know the answer. Is it not wanting to fill Franklin's shoes?
CAA. Who works for CAA?
I don't even know what CAA is.
It's a sports management organization.
Never heard of them. Is that who Jimmy Sexton works for?
Jimmy Sexton works for CAA.
Okay.
All of the coaches that were hired Sunday have a different agent than Sexton, but that agent also works for CAA.
So why does CAA not like Penn State?
Penn State or CAA, well, Penn State has chosen to not want, they've chosen specifically not to deal with CAA.
Is it because of the contracts that they put up?
Yes.
Well, it sounded like originally that LSU wasn't going to work with CAA.
They didn't want to work with Sexton specifically.
Well, that turned around quickly.
Yes. As far as Brian Daboll, I don't think he is an option. If he was, they would have already talked to him and tried.
I think he would have already been announced if he was an option because that's who I initially went through my head. I think he'd have been a good fit for him. But it's
if you're Penn State, you have to go ahead and hire Terry Smith just to stop the bleeding.
Yeah. Actually,
I'll
tell you who I'd hire at this point. Get Kyle Golick in there. I mean, my God, at this point, he loves Penn State more than anybody.
At this point, anything. You can't keep going this way.
Shout out to Kyle Golick, by the way. That man is one of the best journalists out there. Writes up some great pieces. He's a very good writer, great human being. I really like that guy. He's been on our show before. Very good dude.
If you look at what they've done, Signetti, no. Rule, no. Clark Lee didn't even take the phone call.
Yeah. But to be fair, I get why Signetti didn't go. I get that.
This is worse than a Tennessee head coaching search.
Yeah. Rule not going, that one kind of shocked me a little bit. But then again, I get why he wants to stay at Nebraska. Why not? He has a chance to do something special there. And those fans are very faithful and they're good fans. Stay.
You have, at this point, it has to be Terry Smith and nobody else. You got to stop it.
I agree. All right. So before we close this thing out, I'm going to pull up the conference championship games that we have, and we're going to quickly break them down. Well, not quickly, but you know what I mean.
Just pick a winner.
Yes. So the first one is the Sun Belt Championship. James Madison is a 23.5-point favorite over Troy. Let me verify that they did not play this year. Yes, they did not play each other this season. Troy is sitting at 8-4 right now. I'm assuming you're going James Madison.
James Madison, and they can name their score.
Yeah, so James Madison covers a 21.5, you think?
Oh.
But then again, with Bob Chesney leaving, does that affect the team?
He's still coaching.
I know he's still coaching, but knowing that he's leaving, does that affect how they play?
No.
Okay. I'm picking James Madison as well. Okay. The next big game, American Conference Championship. Tulane versus North Texas. That's actually a playoff eliminator game. The winner of that game is in the playoff easily.
Yep.
And I love that. I love that you get an eliminator game like this. It makes me happy. Tulane is sitting at 10-2. Their losses this year were to Ole Miss. That was a kind of a blowout loss, actually, and that was not a good one. And then they lost to UTSA, which there's no excuse for that. That's embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
But their biggest wins this year, they were able to beat Memphis at Memphis. That was a good win for them. Sup, Silverfield. They beat Duke at home. That was a good win for them. And then they beat Northwestern as well. Another good win for them. So I mean, they played a tougher slate than North Texas has, but North Texas also has that 59-10 decimation of Washington State. Washington State's a team that's played everybody super close, including Ole Miss, which is just weird, but it is what it is. Who you got? Two teams that are losing their head coach, by the way.
One of these teams has, against everybody they play except for USF, they've told them to go out, get their own tree branch, tree limb, tree branch, twig, whatever you want to call it, brought them back into their house, made them drop their pants, and then used the twig on their butt.
Yep.
And that's North Texas. I'm going with the Mean Green.
I like it. And speaking of North Texas, they hired Neil Brown today to be their head coach. I like that hire, actually. I think it's a fine move.
It doesn't move the needle for me.
I mean, it doesn't do anything. I mean, I think
Yeah.
for I think it's fine. Like, I don't think it's going to make them better or worse. I think it's just. Do I think they'll be 11-1 this time next year? No,
Nope.
not a chance. Because Mestamaker, if you can retain this roster, sure. But let's be real, there's no chance. But yes, so we both have North Texas going. So James Madison, North Texas as our two options for the playoff. Maybe both get in, maybe one gets in. We will see. All right, Big 12 championship. BYU rematch with Texas Tech. First time they met, Texas Tech absolutely dominated them. The score was closer than it should have been, but Texas Tech didn't score as much as normal, but absolute domination. But BYU now has a chip on their shoulder. Their coach is staying. Their coach turned down Penn State for them. And also the Mormon Super Fund that got put behind him. But is that enough for them to rally and beat Texas Tech?
I'm gonna say the same thing I expected in the first game. BYU's an out physical them. They're gonna pull the upset. Go Cougars.
Okay. I'm taking Texas Tech. I'm sold on the team. I like them. I like their defense a lot. So, and I've never said that about Texas Tech. And that's still sounds weird to say.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to skip the two big ones and go to the next one because this next one is honestly, of all of the conference championships games, this one to me is the lowest tier of them all, including the G5s. It's lower than that. Duke, Virginia rematch. First meeting, 34-17 win for Virginia. Duke scored one of their touchdowns on a pick six in the fourth quarter. It was essentially shut down the entire game. Had one good drive offensively in that game by Duke. Does Duke get it done, Chris? I know you want it to happen, but will it happen?
What I want to happen and what I expect to happen are two different things. I want Duke to pull the upset. However, I've been working on an article this week about the Virginia football program, and I've learned a few things. There's a little bit of side motivation going on for Virginia. And I'll wait until Cody comes back so I can relay that. It's always fun when you have family things going on in the background. But you know what? That's what it is. Cody's a family man.
Sorry about that. You probably heard me yell, no, my wife's cat is sitting over there making this weird sound, and it was bothering the crap out of me. And she'd found a pack of kitten treats that were in our, the toy bin for the kittens.
Was she getting elevated?
Brother, she was. She had chewed a hole in the treat bag and it probably eaten about a half a bag of cat treats. So just
She
throwing that
was
out there.
a little bit elevated there.
Now she's sitting at the cat tree and she's just like laid out on her side right now, just chilling.
Mm-hmm.
She's looking kind of thick right now too.
So
Katniss, you crazy girl.
how many hippie concoctions were in that cat treat?
Good question, because it does say catnip on the bag. So,
But as I was saying, I'm working on an article that's going to be published on college football backers later this week. I've learned some things about this Virginia football program. There's some motivation behind this team. Don't want to go into details, but 3 years ago there was an incident that involved 3 of their players. They finally got some closure on that this year. I expect this to be highly emotional for them, and I think they handle business.
I think so too. Actually, I'm actually really excited for Virginia having the opportunity to potentially make the playoff this year.
Mm-hmm.
Their win against Florida State, that game was special. It really was. Yeah. And when I saw that, I was like, all right, I like what I see. I did not think they would be in this position though. I thought that it was like a one and done for them.
Yeah.
But hey, shout out to them. Fantastic season by them. All right.
Sometimes you find these teams that have special stories behind them, and it gives new perspective on what they've done.
Mm-hmm.
It's once you read this article, and I'm done with it. I think people are going to see some things about Virginia that they didn't know.
For sure, absolutely. And there's a good chance I'm gonna be the one editing said article, so I can't wait to read it. All right, so SEC championship, Georgia rematch with Alabama. First game this year they played, pretty close game. Georgia is currently a 2.5-point favorite. Which, by the way, before we go into this, let me just go ahead and say, because I did not read these lines of the games before. Sun Belt Championship, Jesus, the line shifted since we looked at it. It went up 2 points. So James Madison is now a 23.5-point favorite instead of 21.5. North Texas is a 2.5-point favorite over Tulane. Texas Tech is a 12.5-point favorite over BYU, and Virginia is a 3.5-point favorite over Virginia. Georgia is a 2.5-point favorite over Alabama right now. I think Georgia beats the dog snot out of Alabama. I think it's nasty. And by beating the dog snot out of them, I actually think it's going to be like a 20-17 kind of game. It's going to be very, very close and all that. But I think physically, though, I think it's going to be a pretty damning sight that we see.
Georgia wins.
Give me a score.
10 points or more.
Wow. I like it.
Alabama, the second half of the season, is absolutely showing some chinks in the armor. This isn't the same Alabama team that played Georgia, and this isn't the same Georgia team that played Alabama.
That's fair.
Georgia's gotten better, and I think Alabama's taken a step back.
That's fair. It's very fair. And then the final game, the Big Ten Championship, a very cool matchup because it's 12-0 versus 12-0. The Fighting Signettis of Indiana versus Ryan Day and Company's Ohio State Buckeyes. Ohio State sits at a 4-point favorite right now.
Ohio State wins. I don't think it's particularly close. We've seen Indiana struggle with some teams that they had no business struggling with. Yes, Fernando Mendoza is a very good quarterback, but we've seen him. He wasn't very good this past weekend. He's like 8 of 17. It was not a good performance.
Yeah.
Indiana does not have the weapons that Ohio State has. I think Ohio State handles business.
I like it. My thing with this game is, I mean, Ohio State has not really struggled this year. at all. They haven't had to face any adversity. Now they're at a neutral site. They're playing a team that went to Eugene, Oregon and beat Oregon this year, which that's a great win. That's probably the strongest win there is this year. I mean, because Alabama beating Georgia is not stronger, in my opinion. Just saying. But no, I think Indiana having that big game experience already, which I mean, don't get me wrong, Ohio State has the same thing because they've played Texas. It's a big situation. Something in me though, it's like something about Kurt Signetti. I can't pick against the guy. It's hard. It really is. I think that even against Michigan, like I wasn't impressed by Ohio State's offense. I mean, Jeremiah Smith, he's fantastic. Bo Jackson's a good running back. Julian Sayan's a fine quarterback, but when he didn't have Jeremiah Smith, he was just okay. And I mean, he was really relying on his tight end, which I get that. That's a smart move. I don't know. There's just some fight that Indiana has in them, and this game does not matter to either team in terms of like helping them or hurting them. Like it does nothing for them. I think that you have to see Indiana's defense really step it up in this game. Ohio State's defense, they're going to step it up because they're a good defense. If Mendoza can figure out a way to just somehow.
You're trying to talk yourself into it, and you can't.
I know, it's tough. It's like, because when I look at the linebacker core that Ohio State has, and I look at their secondary, I'm like, where do you find a weakness on that defense to pick them apart? I mean, outside of your, random big like passing play that you hit, I mean, consistency though, that's going to be hard. Like, I want to believe in them, but it's damn. I'm gonna take Ohio State, I guess. I can't talk myself into believing it.
Right.
But I can't bet against Signetti though. I mean, I would not put money on this game because But man, I don't know. I hope that Indiana proves us all wrong here. I really do. And it's not me hating on Ohio State or anything because, I mean, we've got friends that are Ohio State people.
Yes.
Shout out Buckeye backers. Shout out Brian Buckeye Stats. Shout out our guys, like CF backers. It started with Buckeye backers. Like, shout out. But, yeah, I mean, dang. I think it's the defense is the reason that Ohio State wins. It's not their offense. But I will say this. I hope that both defenses play extremely hard and make both quarterbacks have a bad game because if Vanderbilt can't get into the college football playoff, damn it, I at least want to see something good happen. Give Pavia the trophy and be done with it. And give his brother another reason to get arrested this season.
Do you see what Theo Vaughn said about that?
No.
He said if Diego Pavia is invited to New York, he's driving up there and he's going to sit outside the facility and just sit on the horn.
I love it.
Give me that.
I love it. My question is this, though. If he wins the Heisman, does Theo propose to Diego's mom?
No. They never even went on a date.
I know.
Crazy.
I know. It's still funny, though. Yeah. It really is. I love that so much. Which, how crazy it would be, though, if they actually did date each other. But, no. I would like to see something happen where Pavia gets the trophy. But watch, it's going to come down. It's going to be a tight, close ball game, and one of the quarterbacks is going to have to go down there and pull it out for him. So it is what it is. That being said, we are running out of time here if we want to make short. So we thank you for watching. We hope you have a good night. Chris, give me your 10 seconds final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Miami, the challenge has been issued. if you don't show up in Hawaii on Saturday to face the Vanderbilt Commodores, you're cowards.
You heard it there, folks. That being said, enjoy Conference Championship weekend. We'll see you next week.